Welcome back. I'm just going to be covering the future of the Dallas Mavericks and the Los Angeles Lakers. This is after the trade between those two teams for the Mavs sending Luka Doncic to the Lakers for Anthony Davis. So currently, I'm going to start with the Mavs, then cover the Lakers. So the Mavs are at 31 wins, 26 losses for the eighth seed. And they have won 6 of their last 10 games and are currently on a 3-game win streak. So I believe that Anthony Davis is out at the moment. So this is going to lower their seeding for the future. So as we can see here, they have Anthony Davis until he is 34 years old. And I do think that they're going to re-sign him after that. Kyrie, that they have him until he is 30, no, just for this year, and I think he has a player option, which he's going to take, so I would say 33 years old. Klay Thompson, they unfortunately have him until he is 37 years old. PJ Washington until he's 27. Daniel Gafford until he is 27. Caleb Martin until he is 32. Najee Marshall until he is 29. Max Christie until he is 25. Derek Lively until he is 24, I believe, 23. Dwight Powell until he's 34. And Dante Exum for the rest of the year. So they have some older players, younger players, but it seems like they're going to be mostly free on their payroll within like the next 2 seasons. After the next 2 seasons, they're going to be pretty much free to do whatever they want. I do believe that they are going to try to keep Anthony Davis for that last year. Same thing with Kyrie. I think he's going to re-sign because he can get a good amount of money there. I think Caleb Martin would re-sign. Same thing for Max Christie as well. And then the Mavs would definitely take the team option on Derek Lively. And I believe Dwight Powell would try to stay as well. So just going over some of the stats now. For Anthony Davis, it looks like this year, he only played 1 game for the Mavs and then got injured. But for the year, he's averaging around 26, 12, and 3.5, as well as a steal and a half and 2.2, like 2 blocks. So putting up good numbers, but the main concern it was that he was going to be injury prone, which it looks like he definitely is. For Kyrie Irving, averaging 25, 5 and 5, as well as 1.7 stocks. Playing good minutes this year. Hasn't been super healthy, but still putting in a good amount of time. Still able to hit his shots. Shooting really good from 3 this year. Wow. That might be his best. Yeah, his second best. So that's pretty impressive. But I think for Kyrie, it's just how long he can keep that up. Clay just joined to play with Luka, and then Luka left, so that's kind of unfortunate for him. This is lower than usual. 14, 3.5, and 2. Still shooting good from 3, which is fine. I'm not sure if he's going to be playing that much longer, though, just because he is 35. They have him, he's going to be 36, 37, so when he's 38, he can get another contract. I don't know if any team's going to sign him unless it's for the minimum. PJ Washington, playing good this year. This is like almost one of his best years. 14.5, 8 and 2. So I do think that they would try to keep him for the future. Daniel Gafford, 12, 7 and 1. Playing good defensively with 2 blocks. 20 minutes per game. And shooting really good from the 2-point area as well. I think Derek Lively was one of the best shooters from the 2-point range last year. I guess they might not try to keep him in the future, though. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe because he is having a little bit of a comeback, they might re-sign him. Caleb Martin, he has not played any games to the Dallas Mavericks. I think he might be injured, but not playing great. I'm not sure if anybody's going to want him when he's, 32 years old. He can pick up that contract. It just kind of depends. He's been around like that, just like kind of like a decent like bench player for the past few years now. Let's see. So averaging, yeah, he's putting up good numbers. Ever since he joined the Mavs, Najee Marshall, but I don't know. I could see them. He's gonna be 28, 29. Okay, so yeah, they could possibly retain him. I'm not sure 100% if they would or wouldn't. Max Christie looks like he's been having some good games for the Mavs so far. But for the year, averaging, let's say, like 10, 3, and 2. Yeah, they're okay. It's because the Mavs don't have a lot of depth right now just because they have a lot of injured players. But, yeah, still putting pretty good numbers. That's his, like, as a starter, those are his numbers, so they're not bad at all. So that's good for him. He still has a few more years on his contract. Derek Lively, his second year. He's been pretty injured, only 32 games so far. We are at around the 57th game, I believe, so we still have a good 25 more to go. Yeah, so they're going to definitely pick up Derek Lively's team option. This is where it changes a little bit. This dude's played 33 games because they need a center, but he's only averaging like a point, like playing a few minutes per game. So Dwight Powell, I think he's going to pick up that $4 million player option, but after that, I don't think they're going to keep him. And Dante Exum, I know that he was playing really good last year, making kind of like a comeback. Let's see how he's doing this year. Oh, pretty much the same. So playing a little bit better, averaging 11, like 1.5 and 2 and so 11, 2 and 4. Okay, on 20 minutes per game. So yeah, I could see them maybe picking him up for a short amount of time. So that means I think that they're just going to try to keep this team together. Pretty much only losing Clay and Dwight. Yeah, so maybe Caleb. Oh, yeah, they're going to have Caleb. So up until that 2027 season, they're just going to try to keep most of the team together. It kind of depends if Kyrie stays or leaves. So I think we'll have him for that year, but it kind of depends on his contract after that, if another team can pay him more. Other than that, we might try to re-sign a lot of these guys, especially those who are like younger, like PJ, maybe Daniel Gafford. I don't know. It just depends like what they do next year, I guess, because this team really only has 2 years to contend. So yeah. Now looking at the Lakers side of things. So the Lakers are currently 33 and 21. They have won 7 of their last 10 games, and on a 1-game win streak. This leads them to the 5th seed. Unlike the Mavs, though, I don't think that their defense is doing that good. So they just got worse defensively. I believe the Mavs were in the top 15. I think they were 12th, but I think the Lakers are at like 18th maybe. So their defense is falling behind a little bit. So we have LeBron James until he's 41. I do think that he's going to try to play with Bryce. So I don't think that the Lakers should try to invest in that, especially if they're trying to contend. I don't know how good LeBron James is going to be when he's like 42 years old. Luka, we have him until he's 27. We just have to make sure, well, I guess not we, but the Lakers have to make sure that he resigns. So it's just kind of like building the team around him and contending as much as you possibly can. Just doing whatever you can do to retain him. So that might be kind of hard to do when you're in this position where LeBron wants to play with his son, whatever. So you have to try to go out and get like another star. You got Rui Hachimura until he's 28. Dorian Finney-Smith until he's 32. I do think that he's going to take that player option. Austin Reeves until he's 28, which I think he might turn that down, so that might be until he's 27. I do think that he would resign with the Lakers, but I think he would probably want a little bit more money if possible. Gabe Vincent until he's 29. Maxi Kleber until he's 34. Jared Vanderbilt until he's 28. I do think that he'd probably take that. Dalton Connect, we have him until he's 26, I think. Yeah, 26. We should definitely take both of those on him. At least he is playing good this year, so Shake Milton until he's 30. Cam Reddish at the end of the year, and the rest at the end of the year as well. So yeah, let me load this up. Look at LeBron's stats. So it kind of just depends on how long LeBron is going to be able to play at that like top 15 level for as like an all-star / all NBA caliber player. I think LeBron's going to be an all-star for the rest of his career. But it's more about that like all NBA level. The past 3 seasons he's been third team. So it has been like a little bit like of a dip. So he's still top 15, not necessarily top 10. It's debatable, I guess. But averaging 25, 8 and 9. So good numbers, but a lot of these are dips for LeBron. So that's probably, I think, the lowest he's been scoring since his rookie season. So it's just kind of like a slow decline. He is averaging, I think, the second or third most assists of his career. And then the rebounds are like in the middle. So like I said, it just kind of depends on that. I don't think that the Lakers should be trying to keep him for like a whole much like longer amount of time, and then another star might be better. But again, it is LeBron James, so you can never really count him out. Luka Doncic, so currently 25 years old. He's taking a little bit of a dip, just trying to like get accustomed to the Lakers. Even this year, like I remember he was having kind of a slow start. So that's why his scoring averages are down and other things might be down a little bit. The Mavs weren't relying on him as much, but yeah. Rui Hachimura, still playing around the same as usual. 13, 5 and 1.5, 5.5, 1.5. He is like a good starter. I would like him to do a little bit more. Maybe get like up to like 12 touches a game. Like field goal attempts. And yeah, just see if he can become like a 15-point per game scorer for this team, and see if he can help out a little bit more. Dorian Finney-Smith, I think he was mainly a like defensive trade for this team, but I don't know. He hasn't really been playing too good. I don't know. I guess he's more of like a bench piece, but yeah, I don't know if the Lakers will be re-signing him in the future. Austin Reeves, increasing steadily like each year. A lot of people were saying that he should have been an all-star last year, but now he's playing even better. So if he can take another just slight jump like he did from last year to this year and just become like a 20-plus point per game scorer, who knows, maybe just get like 16, 17 field goals per game, maybe shoot a little bit better from 3. That would definitely do it for him, and then he could possibly be an all-star, which would be crazy. So yeah, I don't think that we're going to have Dorian Finney-Smith much longer in the future. Gabe Vincent is the same thing. He was awful last year. Did not play up to his contract at all. This year is still kind of bad, but not as bad. So I don't think that we should reinvest in him as a player, just because it's kind of like, when players come from the Heat, obviously the Heat have like higher standards of quality and just like a different mentality. So you kind of want to be careful who you get from them, just because they might not play the same. Maxi Kleber, this is probably going to be his like last year. Jared Vanderbilt playing pretty bad, only getting 15 minutes per game, but still only getting like 3 points. Just more of a defensive player, I would guess, just trying to get like steals and stuff. So I don't think that we're gonna have either of those players. Obviously, we're kind of stuck with Jared Vanderbilt, but the other two maybe that last year. If we can just get Luka to resign there, then we won't have to worry about them and can probably get some better players who actually be helpful to the team and work as like bench pieces. Dalton Connect, they have him for another 3 or 4 years. So yeah, he's been playing good this year, and obviously when he'll become more accustomed to the NBA, so hopefully he'll just continue to improve. Shake Milton, I don't know, he's just kind of been like a deep bench piece, but nobody's really ever been like playing him much. 15 minutes per game. Yeah, just kind of plays here and there just to like, I don't know, make up time for the team. Cam Reddish. I actually saw somebody with a Cam Reddish Atlanta jersey like a year or two ago. But yeah, so just like 3 points. He's only getting, well, his minutes are fine. I think he just isn't a good player, to be honest. So I definitely think that they should try to get off this contract, and that he might be on his way out of the league, even though he's only 25 years old. Jackson Hayes. I think he's getting more center minutes just because they don't really have a center at the moment. But 6 points, 4 and 1. So these are just more of like the defensive piece. Just they're only playing him right now because they didn't get Mark Williams, and they had to sign Alex Len. Markieff Morris, I don't think he's played any. Oh wow, he's actually played in 3 games. Yeah, I think he's definitely going to be out of the league after this last contract, unless teams just want to sign him as like a vet who has experience, and maybe he's good in the locker room, just like a nice person. Last up, Bronny James. I think we have him for another 3 years, but it kind of just depends on how much he develops. So I don't think that we're going to have any of these players that are not highlighted going in after that 26-27 season, and especially going forward after that, as long as we can try to keep Luka on the Lakers. Yeah, I mean, I guess maybe Dorian Finney-Smith would get one more contract, depending on what he does next year. But if not, then it would just be those 4 players, which isn't too promising. Of course, maybe you'll keep LeBron James. But yeah, other than that, it's not too bright. And I think that the Mavs might have the better younger players, surprisingly, which is says something going into the future. But that's all that I have to say. Thank you all for watching, and I will see you on the next one.